I'm at this Goodwill right now, and I'm telling you what, man, you just come across some really neat stuff I've never seen before. But anyways, yeah, check out this little duck here. I was wondering what was sticking out of its mouth. I had no idea what that is. So it's got this little button right here. It's a lighter. Never would have known. So, but anyways, yeah, that's just one of the bonuses of being in and out of thrift stores all the time, as you come across really unique stuff like this. So, all right, so I am back at the office. Long story short, I did not get that lighter. It was a pretty cool lighter. I really did not know what that thing sticking out of his mouth was, so I just took a look at it, but found out it was a lighter. But it really reminded me on how I started, and that's one thing that I constantly remind myself of where I started. And I encourage everyone to do the same, because that will remind you how far you've come. So anyways, just a side note, when I started, that was actually one of my first flips, was selling lighters. I was working a dead-end job as a valet, parking cars, and I ended up breaking my toe, my big toe. And I know that sounds like not a big deal, but I tell you what, that hurts. So yeah, I cracked my big toe, so I was laid up for about 6 weeks, and that's when I got on Craigslist and started looking. Some of you might have already heard this story when Prof Sales, Jason, when he interviewed me, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell it again real quick. So I was laid up in a recliner for a while with my foot propped up, and I was getting bored, so I got on Craigslist and I searched lot of, LOT space OF, and that pulled up a lot of items that people were selling, and one of them was lighters. So I went out there, and this guy had 3,000 lighters, and he was selling all for $2 a piece. So I was thinking, wow, man, that's $6,000, and I didn't have that money to throw down, so I was just hoping he would let me cherry pick the ones I wanted to get, and he did. He said, yeah, just go through there, get whatever you want. And it was a really good flip. I ended up going back there, grabbing another 200 or 400, and got them on there. And I really didn't even know what I was doing, but that's how I got my, how I started in the reselling game and how I got hooked. And then just by accident, it was at an estate sale, I found a pair of Lucchese boots. These estate sales here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, well, I'm pretty sure anywhere, they're brutal. I mean, it's a madhouse in there. People are in there for one reason only, and that's to get what they want. They don't care about anybody else. And I'm really not that way. When I'm in a thrift store, if somebody really wants something, they can have it. I don't care. I'm not attached to it yet. Unless it's a really high dollar item, maybe. I don't know. So when I got into this estate sale, people were just like running down the hallways, because it was the first day of the sale and people were really wanting to get what they saw in the advertisements. And I kind of like got pushed over inside this closet, and there was a pair of boots. I picked them up, looked at them, and it was like, let's try them. It was a pair of Lucchese boots. Long story short, I made about $100 profit on those boots. And I thought, you know what? Let's do shoes. So anyways, that's how I got started with shoes. For a while, I still sold quite a few things. I did jeans for a while. Jeans were great. I did a lot of antiques and collectibles. It all worked. Anybody could do this, So I really wanted to scale it to where I could quit my job, and what I thought, and I'm not saying this is the right way. Don't mark my words on this and do it exactly this way. You have to do what works for you. And what I did was, I thought, let me narrow it down to one thing. What do I really enjoy? I had to look at the pros and cons on every niche there was. And what worked for me and my wife was doing shoes. We came up with a system just between the two of us, and we were able to build onto that. So, anyways, just wanted to talk about it. I know when I first started this channel, it was probably over 2 years ago, and I was active, semi-active, maybe part-time for about the first year. And then after that first year is when I connected with my new business partner at the time, and we just buckled down and we came up with even a better system, and to scale the shoe business. So getting all of this going took so much effort and work and sacrifice. I'm telling you right now, I love to cook. I mean, I really love to cook. I've cooked, probably for the last 15 years, and I would say I'm a decent cook. I hadn't had any complaints, but I love it. But in the last 2 years, I haven't cooked. That's a huge sacrifice. And that's not even my number one sacrifice. My number one sacrifice is my family. I've been working so much that a lot of times I can't hang out with my family the way I really wanted to. But I'm not looking at the now game. I'm looking at the long term. I want to get us financially stable by the time, he's in, we could live in a nice area to where we could put him in a way better school than where we're at, a year ago. So anyways, I know I'm just rambling on, but I never really got a chance to really talk and explain, why I do things. But yeah, going back to sacrifice, there is a lot of sacrifice involved when you're building your own business. There's a lot of people who just do this part-time as a hobby, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Talk about low stress, and it's fun. I encourage it to anyone. When people come to me with their problems or their financial problems, I have one answer to them. Sell on eBay. Go to garage sales on Saturday. Bring your wife with you. Bring your husband with you. Go out there. Bring your kids with you. Make a day of it. I don't know. To me, that's like the ultimate fix, is to resell stuff. But you know what? Just letting everyone know, that's what helps me. So that's what I talk to people from my own experience. But I know that's not the ultimate fix. So anyways, I just wanted to go over some of the finds that I found today. Not all of them, but I just went and hit a couple thrift stores. And the first pair I want to address right here is SAS. S-A-S. Right here, as you can see, that stands for San Antonio shoes. Very good sellers. These are the free time, and you can see the model is right up here on the tongue. I have no idea if that's going to focus in right here. I have my camera set to automatically focus on my face, so if I move around, it stays on it. So if I throw something up here, it's probably still focusing right up here on my face. So I'm going to get out of the screen and see if it focuses in on that, and it's not. But anyways, take my word for it. It says free time right here. On some SAS shoes, you'll also see where it says time out. Time out, it's a men's shoe. Free time is a women's shoe. So that confused me when I first started, because I just didn't know until I did more research. But you also want to be careful. Right here, the size is stamped right here on the tongue, and when somebody wears these shoes, every time they wear it, they're rubbing that size off. So after a while, even if there's a lot of tread left on the shoe, there is a chance where the size is not on there. If the size isn't on there, I automatically pass. Now, I'm not telling everyone they should do, but if you want to avoid returns, I would suggest passing on this shoe if the size is rubbed off. But that also reminds me too, 2 nights ago, I was on YouTube and just browsing around, just because what I'm going to be doing is spending a lot more time putting content out there. And this is what I really wanted to do this past year, as I was talking about sacrifice. I don't have my notes written out in front of me, so I'm going to be jumping around. That's just how my brain works, and I know I'm just going to do the best I can, but I forgot to hit this point. I never really had the chance to put out the content that I really wanted to. I love helping the people that just started and they don't know what they're doing, because when I was in the game, when I first started, Steve Rakin was on the scene, and he was selling men's clothing, and I followed him. When a new video came out, I was on it. And I learned a lot from him, and then I built my business taking some good things from his videos and from other people's videos as well. I was just pulling out things like, hey, I could use that point. I could use that. I could use that. Putting those all together, I could structure my own business. And that's the good thing about eBay. You could structure your business any way you want. So, but anyways, back to the original point. I was on eBay, I was on YouTube, and I came across Thrift Fever, and I recognized him. I was like, oh my gosh, he's in my shoe group. So Thrift Fever, if you guys get any minute, check out his YouTube channel. He just started, but I just saw him on there, and I didn't even know he had a YouTube channel. But when me and Steve Rakin, we put out the shoe guides, the women's, the men's, and then the shoe cleaning guide, whoever bought that product got access to this shoe reselling Facebook group that I'm a part of. Well, Thrift Fever is in that group, and I just happened to run across him randomly. He didn't even tell me. I keep in contact with him all the time. I've never met him personally. Hopefully one day I'll be able to meet up with him. I think he's out of Florida, so next time I'm in Florida, I'm definitely going to be hitting him up. But anyways, if you guys get a chance, look him up. He sells high-end clothing. He doesn't just strictly sell shoes. So anybody who sells some clothing, you're going to get some really good points from him. So I'm just throwing that out there. But he had a video on SAS shoes as well. He knows a lot about SAS shoes. So anyways, so keep an eye out for that. Now from this point on, I'm going to speed up the video. I was just chit-chatting with you guys, getting caught up from the past year, and letting you know that you're going to see more of me. So next, I found these Bionics. Be careful with this brand. The market is semi-saturated with this, so if you're going to pick these up, make sure you got a good pair in really good condition. So pick these up. I honestly don't know what we're going to be selling these for, but if I had to guess, we're going to be landing these around the $30 range. So these will sell for like 30 bucks. Those SAS shoes are always good for 40 bucks in the condition that you just saw. So. All right, John Varvatos found these Chukka boots. I don't know if you pronounce it Chukka or Chukka, Chukka. That's a good search word when you're writing up a title for these. And you can always tell by the Chukka boots is usually you have one or two eyes up here. So anyways, yeah, but John Varvatos, let me see if I have a label to where you guys can see. It's very faint, so I don't know if you're going to be able to get it in there. Let's see, but yeah, John Varvatos. I have a feeling these are going to sell anywhere between the $75 to $80 range. That's just a quick estimate. Don't mark my words on it. I'm just going to do a quick research on these. This is not a shoe you're going to see every day, but a really, really, really good seller. John Varvatos. Oh, I found them at a thrift store for $2. Unbelievable. All right. A pair of Rocky boots here. It's kind of got that tactical look to it right here. It's got an aggressive tread. So yeah, Rocky boots, they do well. They're not like a premium jackpot item by any means, but really good boot. Alpha Force, which tells me that's more than likely going to be a tactical boot, but these are a size 14. Size 14 does well, size 13 does great. A pair of Edmonds. Edmonds, one of my favorite shoe brands. Gotta make sure that these tassels are down here like that. So, but yeah, found these at a Goodwill. with the dust bags with them. These are a 10.5D medium width, great shape. You always want to check to the wear right here. Let me see if I can focus in on this right here. You always want to check the wear right here. You want to make sure that that heel cap still has some life left in it. Now, if it starts working in to that leather sole here, or heel, that really depreciates the shoe quite a bit. If you're talking about a really high-end shoe, whether it's a designer like Prada or Ferragamo, you could still pick them up and sell them. There's no doubt about that. But when you're talking about a slip-on Allen Edmonds, you want to make sure, because I mean they're not a premium high-end designer brand. They're just not cheap shoes. So, but when that heel starts coming in a little bit, if it's a loafer or something like that, you might want to consider passing. If you're looking at a Oxford, like a lace-up shoe, and that heel shows some wear, if it's a Park Avenue or a Fifth Avenue, I would pick them up. There's just so many variables that I've learned over the years and it cost me a lot of money. There's a lot of times where I'm like, hey, it's an Oxford, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, but it was the Hill, I think it's called the Hillcrest, or I think it's the Hillcrest. I couldn't get rid of it. So I just learned from experience over the years whether to keep them or pick them up or pass. But these are the Cody model. These sell fairly good. All right, we have a pair of Doc Martens. These are in great shape here. You can see here they still have the zip tie from the thrift store. And these we picked up there was a discount on these, so they were right around $6. But the kicker on these is they are made in England. So any of the Doc Martens made in England, you could ask more for. So don't just throw them all in a pile. I don't know if you guys watched my last video of the Harley Davidson boots, but it's the exact same concept when you're talking about Doc Martens made in England. So in the title, Doc Martens, what I would recommend, put the word England right up there so people will know why you're charging a little bit more than the normal. If they don't see that word England or made in England in the title, they're just going to scroll right over it. So you really want to promote that it's made in England. So all right, here we got a pair of Lebrons. These are the Soldiers model right here. These have only been worn one time, I could tell. If there wasn't a little bit of dirt right here, I would have thought they were brand new. But somebody definitely at least tried them on and then donated them to the thrift store. But they're a men's size 12. It's not a really high-end model, but I would say they're probably going to bring, my gosh, I don't know. I haven't sold the Soldier in a long time. I would say 40, 45, but don't mark my words on that. So, all right, so here we go. Here is a pair of these wingtip classics right here. These are amazing shoes. This style does fairly well. Huge demand for it. This is what you call a long wing. So you can see here, this is a wingtip, but it comes all the way back here, and that's what we call a long wing. So these are not a very expensive shoe. This is it's called Shoe Classics by JCPenney, and that kind of dates them, you can tell. But you could see how this inner part right here is curling up, and that's going to depreciate them quite a bit. So what am I going to do? On something like this, I go ahead and pull that insole all the way out. I take it out just like that. So now when somebody looks at it, they don't look at a damaged shoe. They're looking at it as, that's just a shoe without insoles. So I can still list them as Shoe Classics by JCPenney because I know that's what they are, but I'm going to end up selling them just shoes without insole. Now, I can spend a lot of time straightening this out, gluing it back in there, and selling it for about the same amount of money. to me, that's not very smart. So I'm just going to sell these without insoles. So I hope you guys understand that. But then again, you know what? You could do it any way you want, and as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. All right, here is a pair of Dr. Comfort. This is a brand that I love to pick up. You want to make sure they're in good shape. Once they start showing some wear, just like any other shoe, they really start depreciating. So you really want to get an attractive looking model of Dr. Comforts. A lot of the older styles I've been passing on just because they have not been moving. So take a look at the what they look like. If it's a trendy look to them, pick them up. If there's very little wear to them, definitely pick them up. So this is a pair of the boots. These are steel-toe boots too. Actually, I think this is the first time I've ever found. No, actually, I have found these in the past. The steel-toe Dr. Comfort. These are called the Protector. All Dr. Comforts have a model name on the inside. So when you list them, just make sure you put that model name in there, because some people are looking for that particular model. And when they put that in there, if you don't have yours listed, chances are they're not going to see your listing. So now these are scuffed up right here, and I'm going to show you guys how I fix that at the end of the video. This is kind of a long video, and I've been all over the place, and you know that's kind of out of character for me, but this is kind of like my new intro video of me coming back into YouTube, warning you that you're going to see me more often. So all right, last ones. Here is a pair of Timberlands. You can see these are the pink and black, real lightweight, durable shoe, but with this certain model, I've done very, very well with. So, but as you can see up here, let me see if I can focus in on this. The toes are scuffed up. But as I was talking about, like those long wingtips, I'm not going to spend a lot of time fixing something up to sell it for about the same amount of money. So you have to really think, what should I touch up on and what shouldn't I? So what I'm going to do is zoom in and show you how I touch up these shoes real quick. Okay, so I changed the angle of the camera to where it's pointed down here, and then let me go ahead and get these up. So normally what I would do is just wipe these down really fast, knock off a lot of the dust, but just to keep this video short, I didn't want this video to go like 3 hours long. So what I'm gonna do is just zoom in a little bit here, just to where we can get a close-up on these. Let's go, whoa. There we go. So you can see how the toes are really roughed up. I'm going to tell you how fast this goes. So we're just going to, and here at the shop, we have somebody that cleans all this up. His name's Luis. He's really good. So you can see I'm just polishing that up just like that. Nothing special. I really like this stuff right here. This is the Turago. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but you could already see a difference. Nothing fancy, just throwing that on there. And now what I'm gonna do is I let it dry for a little bit. So this one is already dry. It dries fairly fast. I get a horsehair brush, and I recommend getting 2 of these, one for black, one for brown. I have more than 2. I even have another one that I use just for light colored shoes, because you don't want to go from a really dark shoe to a light shoe and then you start seeing streaks. So because it will pick up a lot of the color. So and what I like about this shoe cream polish is it doesn't really have a high shine, and it's perfect for boots like this. So you could already see just a really quick fix on that. And what I'm doing is I'm just blending it in because I didn't polish the whole shoe. So what I'm doing is just brushing it to where you don't see a line right here. And that's just one of the tricks of the trade right there. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and zoom out now so you can see the whole shoe here. Now I could clean all of this up, but going back to what I was saying before, if I did, I would be spending another, I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes to do that. And am I really going to be able to sell these shoes for that much more? And I just have to make decisions like that all day long, and you will too if you get in the shoe game. So that's about it for this video. It's just a quick shoe haul. I'm going to do some more of those. Put some comments down below if you guys want me to do a video about a certain subject. I'm up for ideas. I love to hear from you guys. Keep in mind, look up Thrift Fever on YouTube. Of what I understand, of what I've been talking to Rick's his name, he should be going full time this fall, from what he was saying. I don't know if that's still his business plan, but I'm sure he'll talk about it on his YouTube channel. Also, another thing, if you guys enjoy watching how I clean shoes, check out my other YouTube channel. It's Tino the Sole Restorer. I did it separate just because a lot of resellers out there, I mean, to them, I don't want to waste a lot of their time by integrating it with the content that I'm putting in here. So just for everyone's respect, what I did is I just created a whole nother channel for that. Plus, I think I'll end up getting a lot of people who are just shoe people that aren't resellers on that channel as well. So I don't know, just a decision I made is just to kind of separate the channel out, but you guys are more than welcome to check it out. Tino the Sole Restorer. I'm going to put a link down below on that. But anyways, I think I covered everything I wanted to. Usually after my videos, after I turn it off and I start uploading it, 1,000 things pop in my mind like I should have said. But if they do, I'm just going to create another video. And thanks for watching.